We'll see how it goes. Let's see. Get some active people up in here because this is an important one. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to 3T's, where we tell the truth. All praise be to the Most High, the eternal Creator. Glory to His Word, which brings us light and love in the darkness. So I got something different for you, but more in depth. So sometimes we can feel a truth and find out its meaning is totally different from what we interpreted it as to be. So I found some information. So first of all, I wanted to share with you before I get into what I was talking about. So for a while, I've just been asking the Most High a lot of questions about some of the things in the Holy Bible that didn't sit well with me. And I didn't want to be wrong because I've already shared some of this knowledge, and I'm like, it didn't sit right with me. One of the things was loving everyone, and only those who believe in Him will be saved. Um, and whatever other things that I've spoken to Him about, but I'll get into that as I go, as I recall them. So for now, I just want to let you know I made a video on July 23rd, sitting in my car, in my truck, and before I know it, it was deleted. I uploaded it to my computer and everything, and I still have the file, but the file is empty because I left it on there for a day or two, but the file is empty. So I was like, what did you have me say? I can't recall what you had me to say. So I want you to help me remember what you said. He told me that, well, he put on my spirit. Now, follow me here. He said, my people are not ready for what's coming. My people are not ready for what's coming. My people are not ready for what's coming. There is going to be a famine, meaning that there won't be food. It seems that way today, but there won't be food coming in the future, in the near future. There won't be any food. There is going to be, what else did he tell me or put on me? He said, um, man, you know, I can't stand that. Sometimes he tells me things, and that's why I have to get it out right away, and that's why I did it. And then these devils deleted my photo or my videos off my computer. They do it, but they do it until actually I log into the internet. So while I'm in the internet doing other things, they're going through my computer looking for what they can erase or see what. Oh man, I cannot think what he said. Man, my people are not ready for what's coming. There'll be a famine. I had a dream that I was not here. He was telling us get out of the cities. Um, man, and I was like, I haven't made no videos because I was crying. I was so sad because I was like, and he was like, a lot of people are gonna die if you don't have his word. I'm gonna get into that. Let's get into that. Let's get into this because this is important. This is very important, and that's why I've been contemplating for this whole year because I've been trying to get in touch with my creator because I have to find out some things because I'm not one to go off what the world looks like. I need to know what's really going on, and he puts it in us, and we'll get to that. Let's get into my topic: return of the word. So many people are out here screaming, we're waiting for Jesus Christ. We're waiting for Yeshua HaMashiach. We're waiting for the Son of God to return. This is going to be the kicker because I've been asking all these questions to the creator, right? And then my video got erased, but he sent me a book that gave me everything that was lost. I can read verbatim, but it's going to be spread it out. So it's not going to be all in this one. It's going to be in maybe not the next one, but the third video. So I'll get to that later. But right now, return of the word. Now, like I told people before, because it made sense to me when I read part of the Bible at that time, when he said in Genesis, "Come, let us." I'm gonna stop right there. Come, let us. And I was pondering on that, like who is us? So us was his word, return of the word. The word is return, and I'm gonna tell you what word the word is right now, how he returned or about his return. Let's go over a couple of things about the word though, real quick. Word of Yah. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God, or Yah. He was in the world, and the world made was I'm sorry, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. That was back then. Let's wait till I fast forward it though. Which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor the will of man, but of Yah. So I'm not going to go down the line of all the scriptures. You can find this in the book of John. He said, "And the word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father." They said, as of, he is the only begotten of the Father. Full of grace and truth. The word of Yah. And I saw, this is Revelations, and I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon it was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. That's what they say. And he and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. Now, how can nobody know his name when right after that they tell you, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God, or the Word of the Most High Yah, the Word of the Eternal Creator. Now, I'm about to continue with return of the Word. I found I was asking so many questions to the Most High. I was like, help me remember my video that I made, because I can't remember what I said. Like, because it was like 2 days later, so I was for sure I was gonna have it. So I didn't think to try to remember what I said. And then he sent me this week, within the past week and a half, I received this book or PDF titled The Third Testament. So people are saying this, the First Testament, or the first, all these things. There's what, the first books from Genesis to Malachi is supposed to be the First Testament. From Matthew to Revelations is supposed to be the Second Testament. This is supposed to be the Third Testament. But the kicker is, I'm already feeling my spirit jumping. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, my people, the kicker is him speaking. It's the word of the Most High speaking himself, not John, Jacob, Paul, Samuel, you know, Elijah. Nobody is speaking for him. This is him speaking his whole book by himself. Oh, praise Yah. And let me tell you, when I didn't even read the whole thing, because of course I just got it recently. But when I read what I did read in it, I heard his voice. Every time I read it, I hear his voice. I hear his voice. Not realizing that it was all of his word either. I just was hearing his voice. I was hearing the voice. And I'm like, why am I hearing his voice? And it sounded like a nice voice. It wasn't my voice, and it wasn't no demonic voice. It was the Creator's voice, his word. So let me get into this because I'm gonna connect some things for people's. I hope this video reaches people. I really do. I'll share this video. Please share it with pastors. Share it with anyone who believes in the Creator and those who don't. But this is some powerful stuff for you people to realize. For everyone who say they know Him, say they trust Him, say they follow His word, follow His will, follow His way, seeking Him to the death do them part. Share this with them because this got some real revelations in here for the world. And I'm wondering why haven't I found out about this until just this week? What is this? Basically the beginning of this month almost, yeah. Or probably like the end of last month. Except July 2020 to August 2020, somewhere. It was probably the end of July. Let me get into this. This is called the Word of Yah. I mean, the Third Testament. So this is going to be in chapter 1. I'm not going to be detailed about what sections and all that. If you want to find it, you can find it in chapter 1 of the Third Testament. He said, "Behold, men waiting for me." This is the word speaking now. This is not me. This is not my interpretation, my idea, none of that. I'll tell you when it's me. He said, "Behold, men waiting for me without being aware that I am among them. I am before their eyes, and they do not see me." Like, remember, I just told you about that in the past when he said he was among, he was made flesh and he was among his own, and his own did not recognize him. The same thing today, same thing right now. So back then, in the second era, people didn't realize it was him. They murdered him. This era, people don't realize that he's already here. And I'm going to tell you about that. He said, "I speak to them and they do not hear me. They do not hear my voice." Sorry. "And when for an instant they have a glimpse of me, they deny me." The evidence, oh, I'm going to tell you something. The evidence that I come in spirit to communicate with humanity will not be accepted by all. In spirit, and oh my gosh, I'm so anxious. In spite of the testimonies, because materialism will act as a blindfold of darkness for the eyes of some. So when he says humanity will not be, humanity will not be accepted by all. His communication with humanity will not be accepted by all, in spite of the testimonies, like my testimony, of thousands of people testimonies out there telling you they're experiencing that they like going through things, and people just think they're just tripping out because they're ignorant and blindfolded by material life, you know. He said, "Truly I tell you, on this earth there will not again be a manger to see me born as a man, nor another Golgotha to see me die." So he's saying that ain't happening. What else is he saying? He said, in my manifestation through Jesus or Yeshua, I announced to you the coming of the Holy Spirit, and men thought that it pertained to divinity, who being in God, who being in God was not known by them. But realizing that while speaking of the Holy Spirit, I was speaking about the only God or the only Yah, who was preparing the time in which he would communicate spiritually with men through a human faculty. So he's saying that when he came the second time and he told the people he got to go to the Father and he was about to leave, and he said, "Don't worry, I'm going to return. I'm going to return. Don't worry." And he said basically that there would be a way for him to communicate, but they were looking for him in the flesh, in the material. But he wasn't talking about material anymore. He already done that. We'll get more into that. Fulfilled. When I announced to my disciples my new coming and allowed them to foresee the way in which I would manifest myself to men, a long time had passed since that promise was made. Here you have that period unfolding before you. Here you have those prophecies being fulfilled. Who would be surprised? Only those who have slumbered in darkness, or those ones who have erased my promise from themselves. So he's already here. And this book was written by a Mexican during the time in Mexico. And I'm trying to look up, let me see. He was in Mexico. Let me continue and then I'll tell you. Wait till you kick this off now. This is going to prove what, wait till I get there. I'll tell you. He said, I know how little this misinterpret. I always put a little title. I always say it, and people probably don't know that I'm giving it a little title for a different section, but it's called misinterpret. He said, I know how little you would fathom my teachings and the errors which you would make interpreting my revelations. I announced to you my return, saying that I would send the Spirit of truth to clarify my mysteries and explain to you that which you had not understood. Okay? Because in the most profound of my prophetic words, I led you to understand that this time I would not come in lightning and thunder, as in Sinai, like on Mount Sinai, nor make myself a man, putting my love in words in human form, as in the second era, but would come to your spirit in the splendor of my wisdom, surprising your mind with the light of inspiration and calling at the door of your heart in a voice that your spirit understands. Those predictions and promises are those which are now being fulfilled. Oh, hallelujah. They're being fulfilled. Oh, we ain't even got started yet. We haven't even got started yet, my people. We haven't even began yet. So just stay with me. If you're here with me, stay with me or come back later and watch and listen because I got some stuff for you. I got some clarification for you, even the mistakes that I've made that I have to apologize for because I'm not trying to lead no one astray. I'm not trying to lead no one to darkness, but to the light where we all belong. All of us. Hold on. I got you. All praise be to the Most High. He said, prepare. Prepare. It is sufficient for you to prepare yourselves a little to look upon my light and feel the presence of my spirit. The same one that proclaimed that it would come to teach you and unveil to you the truth. There are many who have not evolved due to fear, or to a lack of study. So there are many who has not evolved in the spirit. I'm saying the spirit due to fear of this evil that comes against you when you're chasing after the Most High, or due to a lack of study. So those who pick up the book every 2 times a year, you got a little bit and you don't have enough. They still practice the law of Moses without acknowledging the coming of the Messiah. Others believing in Jesus have disregarded the arrival of the Holy Spirit as foretold. I have come for the third time, yet many do not await me. Hallelujah. The angels announced his arrival. The angels announced my arrival, and their voices were heard throughout the heavens. Did you not hear them? This is a question he's asking us. The spiritual world has come to offer you testimony of my presence. All the prophecies will be fulfilled. The disasters that are now occurring on earth will overcome the pride and vanity of man. Once man becomes humble, he will then seek me, calling me Father, love me, and thus you will acknowledge me. A prayer for world peace will then emerge from your heart. I love all my children. Once they evolve spiritually and return to me, I will make a covenant with men, and there will be great joy with the Father and his children. I'm gonna give you some reality check though for you, and wait till I get there. I'm gonna tell you what he. I like his humor. I do. I love his humor. He makes me laugh when I'm reading. I'm telling you. At second era. So I said to you in that time. This is oops. Yeah, this is still chapter 1. I just wanted to make sure. Still chapter 1. Yeah. So I said to you in that time, what I have told you is not all that I have to teach you. For you to know all, first I must go. So this was in the second era. He was talking to the disciples. He said, first I must go away in order to send to you the spirit of truth, to make clear what I have said and what I have done. I promise to you the comforter. I promised to you the comforter in the times of trial. And that comforter, that explainer, is I myself, returning to illuminate you and help you to understand the past lessons as well as the new one, not new ones, but the new one that I bring you now. In wisdom is the balsam, balsam, just in case it ain't coming out right. So in wisdom is the balsam and solace that takes your heart long, that your heart longs for. I'm sorry, that your heart longs for. So he's saying that your peace and your comfort is, that's what you long for. It is for this I promised you at that time during the second era, that the spirit of truth as the comforting spirit. So that's what he's saying. He's saying that he went away, and everything he did, everything he spoke, he sent confirmation through the spirit of truth. And that comforter is there for when we go through trials. It's there to give us comfort. That's not the only thing that gives us comfort. So hold on. He says, so again, I promised you at that time that the spirit of truth as the comforting spirit, it is for this. So that's what the balsam and solace is for. That's who brings it to you, that comforting spirit. But it is indispensable to have faith in order not to stop on the path of righteousness headed to the kingdom, which is inside of you, actually. Let me get that. But heading down the road to spiritual elevation. I'm saying that. I'm just explaining it. But it is indispensable to have faith in order not to stop on the path or to feel fear before the trials. So it is very critical to have faith in order not to stop on this path of righteousness, no matter what's going on in this world and no matter who tries to come up against us. It's very critical, indispensable to have faith in order to not stop on the path or to feel fear during the trials. So in order for you not to feel fear or to not stop on the path, you have to have faith. And faith just don't come by saying, I have faith. Or you read a book and said, I'm cool, I have faith. Oh no, it comes with a lot. Trust and believe it, baby. Signs of a new era. Now, before I get into signs of a new era, like I told you, there was a Mexican man who he enlightened to write this knowledge. So this book was actually written between, uh, I believe it was the 1980s. I don't even think it's going to come. Let me see. The Third Testament, when was it written? 1974. According to some information I found on Wikipedia. They're lying. They changed everything. I think, I don't know if I copied it up when I first got the book because I tried to look it up. As soon as I seen the PDF, I went to go look it up. I'm like, why nobody talked about the Third Testament? I'm like, I knew there got to be more information than what they share with us. That's for sure. I didn't have no doubt in that. But I'm like, if this book is actually been out since the 1930s, they were written between 1930 and the 1950s or something like that, and more than just this one Mexican guy wrote it. He used the Mexican, he inspired him, and then he got, I think it was like 7 other people to help with the whole journey. Yeah, I knew they would do that. I knew they would change it. That's why some things I downloaded on my own, because I knew every time I find something, they hurry up and erase it. It's like they tracking everything that I find, and they don't want people to know the truth. But I'm glad that I at least downloaded the book, and it's not my book. I can't make up the name Rojas. I mean, anybody can make up his name, but you'll find it on there. You'll find it if you look it up. It may not be the full book, but you'll find it. So he was inspired by the Most High word, the word of the Most High, to write this book when he came to this earth. And at that time, people may say, well, why did he use the Mexicans? Now, some people believe that these Mexicans are a part of the original tribes of Israel, but no, they're not. They're not. He even clarifies that for you in this book. And this book was written by a Mexican, okay? He basically said, I use this Mexican. He said it too, because at the time, that's what they called themselves. So he used the name, I'm pretty sure that based on the time he came. But I'll explain that to you in a minute. If not in this video, maybe another one. But he said, few are the men who know the signs that a new era has begun. Because everybody keeps saying, a new era is coming and all these things, but it already began. And that I am manifesting myself spiritually to humans, to humanity. The majority dedicates their lives and efforts to material progress. And in that death and sometimes bloody struggle to reach their objective, they walk like the blind and lose their course, not knowing what they are after. They do not see the light of the coming dawn, do not see the signs, and are very far from having knowledge of my revelations. This humanity has believed more in the doctrines and the words of men than in the revelations that I have given you throughout time. Oh, I love that he's speaking. True message. By chance, are you waiting for the Father? This is them writing that. I'm saying it the way I'm saying it. He said, by chance, are you waiting for the Father? in his justice will send you greater signs than those which you behold at every turn, in order that you may feel and believe that this is the foretold time of my manifestation as the Spirit of truth. Now, I'm going to pause for a second because that's powerful. Because right now, like I told people in my videos, which I had no clue why I said these things, he had me speaking this stuff, not realizing that he was using me. I knew he was using me, but when I speak, I don't even realize sometimes what I'm saying until I go back and listen to it myself. And I'm like, whoa. Now, sometimes I do know. Sometimes I do know, but sometimes I'll say things like, I said that. Now, this is a time where many people are being enlightened, not just the original melanated Israelites. Many people are being enlightened. Like I mentioned to people in one of my videos, he didn't pour his spirit out only on his people, he poured his spirit out on the entire world. Everybody, everybody get a piece of that pie. He's checking everybody, seeing who's waiting for him, seeing who's ready, seeing who needs more adjustments, seeing who's doing this, seeing who's doing that. This is the Spirit of truth that has come upon us, and that's why hundreds and probably thousands of people are out here manifesting his truth verbally. He is in us. He is using us. Continue. So that all men on earth may testify to the truth of this message. I have made the signs that were prophesied in ancient times, the signs that speak of my new coming, be felt through all the globe. My new coming has been faithfully fulfilled, as is fitting for he who has one will, one word, and one law. Now, when he said globe, I am a hot mess. When he said globe, baby, this ain't no globe. Globe is, we'll get into that. We are in a dome. That's for sure. The world, the earth is not a globe. And I'm pretty sure he's not meaning it that way. But we are encamped in some type of field. So that's why, and it probably goes from the bottom to the top. Come in cloud, come in cloud. Now you remember, for those who read the Holy Bible or any of these type of Bibles, or what do they call them? Yeah, Holy Bible, King James, New English, all that. In the book of any book that has the book of Matthew, excuse me, chapter 24. He said in chapter 24, for as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For whosoever for wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagle be gathered, the eagles be gathered together. The coming of the Son of Man. That's kind of scary. Because when I went over this new book and I read back on this, I said, whoa, wait a minute. Like death and violence and destruction, and that's like a signal if something is going to happen in this lifetime that we're in this era that we're still lingering in. So that was a sign. That was part of the sign. I'm going to tell you what the sign is. And I'll get to it. I looked it up and it happened. Immediately, or at least that's what they wrote. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Now he said immediately after there was a tribulation before his third return. So this is why you may get people say, "Oh, there's this is the tribulation. There was many tribulations. This is what's about to happen is not going to be the only tribulation. This is going to be the final and the worst tribulation that we or people we. I'm gonna say we. I'm gonna tell you why I said we later. I'll find it out some stuff, but I'm gonna tell you how my spirit connects with it. It's not a joke. It's for real. I don't care what people think. I'm here to tell you some real stuff. It's up to you to listen. Like he says, it's up to you to get it. And I can't make you get it. I can only tell you my testimony. That's it. You can judge me how you want. Don't matter. Ain't gonna change my road. Ain't gonna change my path. It ain't gonna change nothing. Not for me. It could change something for you if you lacking. I'm telling you because I'm trying to get it. I don't care what it takes. I don't care what it takes because I know. I don't believe I know. I know. I can't really explain it to people except by putting it in these terms and trying to share what I know about it, and that's it. But I can't really get deep with it unless you already have some kind of understanding. If you have no understanding, I'm not talking to a dead horse or a wall, and not in a bad way either. I'm just being straight up. He said, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun, now pay attention, he said the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. So that normal light that a moon would give, it wouldn't give that same light. And the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. In heaven. So this is in the Holy Bible, in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the cloud of heaven with power and great glory. Now he said he would return in a cloud in the heavens. He didn't say I would return. So this is in Matthew. He didn't say I will return as a man, like everybody is out here false prophesying. That's why I told people be careful, because they're going to try to project the Christ, but that ain't going to be Christ. Christ is not coming in the form of a man. So that cuts out their blue green project or whatever they call it. He's not coming in the flesh. He's not coming in the figure of a man no more. He's not a man, and he's not coming in the figure of a man. He is the Word. He is a spirit. He is the Word of the Creator, the Most High, the prime eternal Creator, the supreme Creator. Truth unbound. Behold, that this word has been given to all, and never have I reserved a part of it only to specific beings. So not just to Israel, but to all the world. That's how we got in trouble. That's how our people got in trouble, because we tried to keep everything to ourselves. We thought we were better. I did too. No, I'm just we're not better unless we're doing his will, and that don't make us better. We're better if we respect and love all equally, the same as we would love ourselves. That's what will make us better, because then we will be respectful and loving to all people and all things, not just people, even the nature, even the bugs and the lower creatures. I just killed a bunch of flies and bees today. I'm got my nerve because they kept buzzing and bothering me. I told them to get out. He said, observe that in this work. So in his writings, the First Testament, the Second Testament, the New Testament, and all the books that were taken out of them. He said, observe that in this work, there are no books in which I would pretend to conceal anything, any teachings. I love the way he talked. He be so straight up like I like. He said there ain't no book that he would pretend. So he basically saying like, my words I don't bring in a book. That's like locking it in and trying to be secret about stuff. Look, it's my book. No, he brings the word and it goes all over to everyone and anyone who needs it, which is the whole wide world. Yes, the material and the immaterial. So, okay, everybody needs it. And the creature, lower creature, everybody needs it. If we happy, the whole earth would be happy. Because we are the rulers of the earth. The man is the rulers of the earth. And those that he gave his wisdom to, which was the original melanated Israelites, or what they call in Jews, or whatever the name they had back then. He, in this book, they call them Jews and Israelites too. But they also say Jesus. So I know all these books were altered. That's for sure. But his word speaks to me. So that's what let me know when it's true. And plus, I know it's true. If you just wait, hold on. It don't take an intelligent being to know that these words are true. It makes sense to me because I used to question a lot of things that out of the Holy Bible that didn't seem right. If it didn't seem like it was in love, I did not totally agree with it, even if it's spoken. But I didn't want to be, what do you call it? So insubordinate to his word. So I just went along with it, but I wasn't, it didn't sit well with me. So this year, I've been, the whole year, I've just been praying to him about everything that I didn't feel that was right, that I may have said, and went back and paid attention to what I said. And I'm like, that's not right. I don't know why I said that, because that's not right. I know it's not right. And this is where I'm at right now with this information. But I'm going to tell you, you know if it's real or not, you know. We all, like I told people, and I think it was my last video or one of my, that was about, that was last year or the beginning of this year when I last made a video. In one of those videos, it talks about what I'm talking about here, or that I didn't agree with many things, loving people and hating people. And I'm like, how could he be a loving God and hate people at the same time? That don't make sense. And I said, as much as I want to hate some of these tyrant, or what I call them, tyrannizing menaces, I can't hate them. And I forgive them the next day. Like soon as I go to sleep and I'm woke, everything is history for me. So I'm like, I feel like I have his spirit. So if I got his spirit, he can't be hateful towards not even the worst being, not even the angels who fell and caused all of this. And I was right. Everything that I was thinking, like I told people, who did I tell? Everything I say and I believe and I really sit it in stone in me, whether I read a book that says something different or not, the Holy Bible or not, and I sit it inside of me like this is right. He confirms it. And that's what he did. He confirmed it. Behold, that this word has been given to all, and never have I reserved a part of it only to a specific being. So that cuts it out for everybody who say this is just our law. Because there was some people in the past who said, we don't want your help. I listened to the attitudes of our people back then, how when certain Gentiles wanted to help them with things that was pertaining to the Most High, like building the temple of God and all that, they was like, well, we don't need your help. And some people even went as far as saying, look, we love your God. We want to, follow y'all ways, and we want to turn to you. We don't need y'all. That they told them straight up, they didn't want their help, and this is basically our thing, and you can't be a part of it. So I didn't think that was right. It didn't make sense to me, not with the God that I learned about. Now, every time someone else speaks for him, they say one thing, but every time he speaks, then I'm like, wait a minute, that said this. Okay, let me go forward. I don't want to get into that. Maybe one day, if I do some Q&A or something. Third era, third testament. So we're in the third era, and this is the third testament. Already began. This is chapter 2. So all that I said previously, besides letting you know it was Holy Bible, was chapter 1. Somewhere in chapter 1. So he said, and as the disciples were trembling on Mount Tabor, as they beheld the transfiguration of Jesus, or Yeshua, while Moses and Elijah appeared in spirit to the right and left of the Master. The first day of September, are you with me? The first day, so September the 1st, 1866. That's in our lifetime, at least, some of our people heard about those stories. This is why I think they did what they did in slavery, because they wanted our people to forget what happened. So the information did not get passed down to us, because it wasn't 1866. Yeah, it was long because we wasn't there, but it wasn't that long ago. When you're speaking of Christ and God doing things and prophecies coming to light and all that, that wasn't long ago at all. He said the first day of September 1866 was the birth of a new era, the dawn of a new day, the third era, which was opened before humanity. How many people knew about that? How many people know about this? A few, obviously, because I ran into it by someone else. It was not by accident. This was not by accident. It's never an accident. When you search, like he said, when you search for something, you will find it. Knock and the door shall be open unto you. That's what happened. Oh my gosh, I'm taking up all y'all time. I'm sorry. I might have to stop this because I don't want it to be too long. But let me go as much as I can. So let me see. It's already almost an hour. This is very important because I want people to see this truth. He said, from that moment and without stopping, many prophecies and many promises made by God to men, thousands of years ago have been coming true. It has come to pass in you, men and women, who inhabit this world in this era. Who among you was on this earth when those prophecies were spoken and when those promises were made? Only I know that. But the important thing is that you know that I promised it to you and that I am fulfilling that. He said, men and women who inhabit this world in this era, who among you was, hear me now, was on this earth when those prophecies were spoken. So we were on this earth, so that means we reincarnated. And I'm going to tell you about that. I know we reincarnated. As a child, I had lots of deja vu. Now I understand why these devils worked overtime. Now I understand why I was having headaches when I was a kid. I understand why my sinuses was always irritated as a child, as a teenager. It was like so many things that didn't make sense to me, because now that I had got older and started realizing what's happening to me and I backed away from certain things, I don't have those problems no more. But I see that they're trying to inflict it on me because they know it's not there anymore. They know by the way I think, they know that whatever chains they had on my brain is not there anymore. And so they've been trying their best to reattach them to my brain, like they're doing to All our people are here who's speaking this truth. This is not for play. And people can judge and say whatever they want. It don't matter because the time is at hand and we gonna be safe. Period. And you better get on board with it real quick because it is running. Watch. Like I said in my videos a while ago, things happen. They came to life. They came to life. Before this so-called store pandemic and all this, I didn't even have nowhere to plant no garden. I was looking up seeds. I'm like, why am I looking up seeds? I don't have nowhere to plant seeds. Why am I looking up seeds? It's like he was preparing me for something that I knew nothing about without me realizing I was preparing for something. But he wasn't preparing me for this pandemic that just happened. He was preparing me for a something else that's coming. The famine. We'll get into that. So just know, black, so-called black people, the children of the creator, the melanated original people of this earth, you are your own reincarnation. You have been here multiple lifetimes. We can't remember because of what they're doing to our brain. Look at the sky. Who knows anything about San Diego, California? Oh my gosh. I can't even finish my video right now because there's so much truth popping up that I want to say, but it's like, I'm a big computer that's got too much information piled up in there. San Diego, California, we have not had a summer yet. Not had a summer. They have poisoned our skies with all this cloud, this blanket of poison that I mentioned in the covenant that I found that they said they would do during the time it looked like we're going to wake up, because these suckers are afraid, as they should be, but they're afraid of their own selves, because what they did and what they do is going to come back to them, and it has nothing to do with the creator. It has nothing to do with us. This is them calling their own punishment to them. This is what they have planted in this earth, and they will reap what they have sown. Not just these demons and devils, all people and beings, all his creation who have the ability to create evil or do evil or think evil or be evil will pay and reap what they have sown. It's coming. It is so coming, and I feel it. Hallelujah. So I've been crying for y'all. I really have. I've been crying because innocent people are going to suffer because of what evil beings, self-willed, hateful people do. Greedy, selfish, ignorant, lost, and confused bring destruction on the whole world, not just themselves. Oh, man, babies are going to die. Children are going to die. Innocent women and men are going to die because of this. And nobody is paying attention. Nobody is caring. Ain't nobody trying to change a thing except that small remnant. Man, what is the world going to do? And everybody blaming God. That's another thing. Everybody's blaming God. And I looked that up too. I said, if you loving, how could you let all these horrible things out? I mean, I asked a lot of questions. I'm like, how could you be vengeful if you're loving God and you want us to love? He said he ain't vengeful. It ain't him. So they rewrote that. He's a God who has to judge his children, or he's not a punisher. He's not a vengeful God, but he is a righteous judge. So it ain't him who called his judgment on you. It's us who call his judgment on us. I'll get into that, but it makes sense to me now. It's clear. But I'm like, you can't be hateful and killing at the same time. Loving and killing too. After it just don't make sense. So he clarified a lot for me. Behold, Revelations 1. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierce him. Oh, and all kindred of the earth shall well because of him. Do you remember? So this is the third Testament, chapter 2. Do you remember that cloud in which my disciples saw me ascend the last time that I manifested myself to them? So this is his question to us. In truth, it was written that I would come again in a cloud, and this I have fulfilled. On the first day, I'm sorry, on the 1st of September 1866, my spirit came in a symbolic cloud to prepare you to receive the new lesson. Later, in 1884, I began to give you my teachings. I did not arrive as a man, but rather spiritually contained in a ray of light to dwell within human understanding. This is the means chosen by my will to speak to you in this era. And I will take into account the faith that you deposit in this word. Merit in belief. Because in this era, it will not be Moses who guides you through the desert in search of the promised land, nor Christ made man who makes you hear his word of life as the pathway to salvation and freedom. It is now the human voice of these beings which come to your ears, and it is necessary to spiritualize yourself to find the divine essence where I am present. It is therefore that I tell you that there is merit in believing in this word because it is given through imperfect beings. Malachi chapter 4. Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. Remember in the Malachi, he said, Elijah's coming. Well, listen here, Elijah in spirit. Elijah, who would come first before Christ came to pave the way, like how, who came before him? Was it John? I believe it was John. Paved the way for him the first time. So it's like his red carpet, you know. Except he's not walking all over the. He said that first he came, Elijah, who came first to prepare the way of the Lord, manifested himself for the first time through a human speaker. This is this book that I've. He manifested himself through a human speaker in 1866. Elijah already came. So everybody's waiting for Elijah to come in the clouds the way he left. No, he's not coming in the clouds. Not the way you think he's coming in the cloud. He's in the cloud, but in the spirit. Do you wish to dedicate a few? Now, this is the kicker. This is his humor. He said, "This is the word of the Most High." He does have a sense of humor. He said, "Do you wish to dedicate a few moments to investigate the signs and events that took place in all its sequence and coincided with the period of that manifestation?" He's asking a question. He said, "Do you want to take a few minutes to go check it out?" And I did. And it was there. It was there. Yes, I got a picture. I have a copy of it and delete that off my computer. I have a copy of that dark day because he said exactly what he said in what's that? Uh, Revelations, when it was going to be a day where the moon was going to turn a different color. Yeah, it did. It happened. So Elijah already came, Christ already came, he's already here, they're both here. And the day of the moon was a dark day. If you can look it up. What else was I gonna say? Oh my gosh, there's so many revelations, and I saw this. It's crazy. So everybody's waiting for him to come, but he's already here. They're just not listening. That's why we're waking up. That's why I awakened, because he has to be here then. You know, I wasn't thinking this way. The last thing I was thinking about was anything like this. You know, of course I was searching for him, but I wasn't thinking about telling the whole world. That was my own personal private thing. It wasn't a secret. It just that was my own thing. He is here, and I know it because I feel him. I just didn't know that's what I was feeling. So the evil wants to make us think differently. So he said, "Do not think that this location on earth where I am presently manifesting myself is the only place where I am presenting myself to my children. For verily I say to you that my manifestation is universal in various forms." So he don't just come, you know, he didn't just, he came as a man before. He don't just come in the spirit. He can be in any form if he want because he's a spirit. As long as things are available for him to use, he can come in any form. And I believe he was that homeless guy that I spoke to uh, about a year and a half ago, something like that. Yeah, I believe that was him speaking to me. So I can't really explain it. When things happen, I guess sometimes it's just meant for us. That's it. Material blinds. So material things blinds the eyes, blinds the spiritual eye, blind the conscience. Chapter 2 of the Third Testament, a torrent of divine light descended to save men from the darkness, but they selfish and materialistic, far from aspiring to the perfection of the spirit and the moral improvement of their lives on earth, took that light to build thrones and glory, material comforts and pleasures, and when they thought necessary, arms to destroy the lives of their fellow men. Their eyes were blinded with the intensity of my light, and their vanity caused them to become lost. Yet I tell you, by that same light, they shall find the truth, find the way, and be saved. So he's saying that even those that are lost will be saved. I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of disappointed. No. Oh my gosh, I'm like, they can do evil, but I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen before they're saved, though. To everybody, depending on what we've done, what our deeds are. To the humble, to those who have known to truly receive this light as a divine message, have allowed their conscience to guide their steps and their deeds, for they have a presentiment that the Lord has returned and that he is among men. The representatives of the various sects and religions have not wanted to receive me. So all these people who claim they love the Most High and they got all these churches with thousands of people built up in these big old mass churches did not want to receive him. That's why the people didn't know he was here. He had to come into the people, the humble, in order for the people. He went probably to the leaders first, but they didn't want to receive him. Their hearts, their dignity, and their false grandeur prevents them from accepting me in spirit. For that reason, groups have been formed during this era on this earth, which consists of brotherhood and congregations who feel the presence of the new era, those who seek solitude to pray and to receive inspiration of the Lord. So these people knew he was here. They knew he was here, but they didn't care to receive his spirit. They don't care to receive his spirit. I'm only, these are just stepping stones. So I'm trying to hurry up this video because I'm not trying to hurry up. I'm trying to explain to you exactly for you to understand, because this is just, I'm just separating the knowledge, but it all comes together. That's why I'm starting with the word, because everybody's searching for him when he's already here. That spirit that awakened people, or that spirit that came upon people and they're faced with the truth, is either driving you crazy, taking you to a hell in your mind, or it's enlightening you and you're on your path. You're searching for that path of enlightenment, reach that place where he wants you to be so we can return into the spirit from which we came. Either you're going to return in there peacefully, or you're going to go in there being ripped to it. And you're going to feel the rip. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy. People are already feeling it though. This is why people like me get the weird treatment, the look, like everybody eyes. It ain't just me. It's all the 144. I'm gonna tell you how it is. We the 144. We're the 144, baby. But we're not the only chosen. That's what he explained. So even though we are the 144 and he gave us specific missions, we're not the only chosen. He said his chosen are infinite. So we're just 12,000 from each tribe selected for a specific purpose. He said presence is evident. His presence is evident. There are religions that are getting prepared for my new coming, not knowing that I am already saying farewell. Woe to the wicked. I called everyone. And in my truth, my call and the rumor that I am communicating with mankind arrived to every corner of the earth, accompanied by testimonies and evidence that speak of me. Redeemed sinners, you've heard about that. Oh, I was a sinner and I want change. Converted unbelievers, oh, I don't believe in God. Oh, now I believe in God. Resurrection of the dead, people dying and coming back to life. Oh, the doctor said I died, but I'm here. God bless me. The terminally ill who are healed. You heard that? Oh, I had this disease and the doctor said it just went away. This is in our lifetime. And the possessed who are freed from their bondage. People who they claim are out of their minds when they're possessed with something. He just take it out of them, free them from the thing that's trying to rip their minds from them. Those are signs and proof that he's already been here and doing the same thing he's been doing, helping and healing the people since the beginning, for the reason that he was murdered in the flesh for. Many lost. He said, but I found many of them deaf, others vain in their earthly glory, and yet others fearful of knowing of my manifestation as the Spirit of truth. I received and taught the ones who came to me trusting in my love. Many are waiting for my return, yet not all perceive my true spiritual presence during this era. Some, because of their old beliefs, think I will return as a man. Others believe that I will return in a manner visible to the material eye. Only a few are aware of the true nature of my return, which is spiritual. The spiritual return of the word of God. He already came. He's already here. And it makes so much sense. Know it or deny it. Knew it or deny it. When this message comes to all the hearts of men, to some it will be a joyful present, for it will confirm all their presentiments. So all that they thought of, all that they believed, all that they felt they knew, it merges with his truth, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's everything that I knew that, I knew that. And their faith. So it's gonna merge with their presentiments and their faith. In contrast, others will deny the truth of my message upon not finding it in agreement with what they thought or their presentiments thought it would be, and not manifested in the form they expected. So not he's not a man's, he's not in the flesh. So they're like, ain't no God. God ain't here. God ain't here if he ain't in the flesh. But he told people in the same book everybody so righteously say they believe in, he said he was coming in a cloud, in the heavens. He didn't say he was coming down like that in the flesh. Man, now if you read this third testament, you'll find that, like he said, man takes things and screw it up and say what they want sometimes when it don't seem like it's something that makes sense to them or something they don't agree with. Oh my gosh, this is another one. I know people probably gonna be hung up. Let me see. I'm almost out of here though. Sixth seal opened. So there's only seven seals, right? That's what the Revelations and the Holy Bible spoke about. How many know that at the time he brought this book or this word? I don't say this book because he didn't bring no book. He brought this word to a man, a humble man, a virtuous man. The sixth seal was open during that time, around that time. So still in chapter 2, on a day when the humble dwelling of, this is the name of the man he brought his word to. He said the humble dwelling of Roque Rojas was full of faithful followers who believed the word of that man. Elijah descended to illuminate the mind of his speakers, and inspired by me, the word, he anointed seven of those believers to whom he gave the representation or symbolism of the seventh seal. Later, when that promised moment of my communication took place, I observed that out of those seven chosen, only one kept vigilance, awaiting the arrival of the pure spouse. And that heart was that of, I don't know why I'll be doing this her name because it's Spanish. I know it's not English, so I want to say it in English and I want to say it in Spanish. Demiana Oviedo represented the sixth seal. So she, Demiana Oviedo, represented the sixth seal. So her way of being, her virtuousness or virtuality, represented the sixth opening of the sixth seal. It was one more proof that the light of the sixth seal illuminates this era. Okay? Thus, the sixth seal was opened, allowing its contents to be contemplated and poured like a torrent of justice and light upon man. And I know that's what happened. That's why a lot of things happened during those times. Judgment happened at that time. Some judgments. So his sixth seal has already been opened, just like it says in the book of Revelation, chapter 6. And behold, when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. This is what I was telling you. I researched, and it happened. It happened. I see some people try to throw the date off and say it happened in 1780, but then some people are saying it happened at the time he said it happened in 1866. And the stars of heaven fell upon earth, even as a fig tree casted her untimely figs when, as I'm sorry, even as a fig tree casted her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. The day, or the what they call the dark day, as it's become known, took place on 1866. They said it was September. Some people said it was March something, 1886, and then in 1866. And some people say it was May 1780. So you're gonna get different people saying it, but it happened. That's the point. And they lied to us about so many things that and try to confuse us so that we won't know what's going on. This is why we have to come together. This is why they have created this pandemic, to keep us apart. Because there's power when we come together. That's what I was trying to explain to people. I wasn't playing. I know and understand his power. They know his power. And they know how it works in us. If only people would really know. All I need is one. All I need is one ride or die. I ain't got none. They all done went away from this truth. All I need is one that loves him like I do. And love our people and love people. Yeah, sometimes I call them miserable tyrants because they are. But I don't hate no one. 144,000 sealed. Revelations chapter 7. And after these things, I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. Why did they hold off? Because the Most High sent his word, and his word sent an angel, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. And I'm going to tell you how powerful his word is going to be when this era comes. And I felt it. I'm telling you, I get so emotional because I don't want nobody to suffer. I don't want to suffer. And I don't want nobody else to suffer. But some people are so evil, closed minded, that they don't even know what's coming. Because we've heard it a lot, especially in our life. You heard it at what, 1999, the world coming to an end, 2000, the world coming to an end. I didn't believe any of them at any of the times either, just so you know. But this time, this it's coming. It is actually going to happen in our lifetime. And you know what? I told my dad, I said, I had a feeling that the world is going to go through some terrible stuff and it's about to begin next year. I have a feeling that it's going to happen next year, right? And I mean, like at the end of this year. And I seen a confirmation. Somebody said, oh my gosh, what did this guy say? So people, get your heart right. And it's not God doing it. That's the thing that we thought it was God. It's not. It's judgment. And judgment we had a time to get things right. And now judgment is being held back so that we have time to fix our wrongs. And the main thing is love. Like I told people before, get your mind and your heart right. Start with love. God Almighty and the Most High Yah is love. And I made a video. You don't even know. This devil been trying to stop me from getting the word to y'all. They've been spraying gas around me and other chemicals, pepper sprays, stuff that don't even have an odor, but it's so powerful, and it just they try to take my voice away or blind my eyes and some more stuff. Those are just the main things they have tried and unsuccessfully. I cannot find this video title. This it just popped up on me after I told my dad that I feel like the world is going to be going through some crazy stuff next year, and I didn't know it's coming, y'all. It's coming. Just be prepared for whatever. It's better to be prepared than and it not happen than to not be prepared and then things do happen. That's all I'm saying. I just feel it. I don't know. I didn't see it like some of these people say they have seen it. I can just feel certain things though. I don't know if it's my spirit that is trying to warn me, you know. And then my dream vision that I had, it didn't give me a date. That's the only thing. Return to orders. Tell your brethren that Elijah has already manifested himself through a human spokesman, that his presence has been in spirit, and that he shall continue to illuminate the way to all the people who shall come in the future. Shepherd has as his mission to restore all the creatures to their true path, whether it be spiritual, moral, or material order. And these are all not a part of what we think, not the material they're talking about here, because there are material beings that are not here with us. And there's another book that I had found before I found this book that talks about that, for which I tell you how fortunate shall be the nations that receive the call of the Lord through Elijah. Thus they shall be united by the law of justice and love, which shall bring them peace as the fruit of their understanding and brotherhood. Thus united they shall be taken to the field of battle where they shall struggle against evil, materialism, and falsehood. So some of us have to go through battles too, burning all that away from us and getting back to true purpose of life. So our orders are in heaven. Remember I told you that Satan was like, we're gonna kill all them humans so that they don't inherit our orders, their positions in heaven, or a part of the kingdom of Yah, the spiritual kingdom of Yah. Inner struggles. In that struggle, the men of this time will see new miracles, and they shall understand the spiritual sense of life, that which speaks to them of immorality and peace. They will cease killing one another and realizing that what you should be destroying is your ignorance, your selfishness, and your insane passions. which have given origin to your obstacles and miseries, both material and spiritual. So he's saying these things because he sees and can explain it in a way that's so wise yet simple. Although I am manifesting myself, so his earthly presence, although I am manifesting myself through human spokesman during this era, man should not believe that my presence is in a material form. It is not, because the presence of God is spiritual, universal, and infinite. I have had to descend another step. That is, from the spiritual and the divine, where you may not yet come to take up your understanding, which has its seat in the brains of men, and translate my divine inspiration to human words and material sounds. Now, a lot of people should be able to relate to that. Sometimes like I was telling people, sometimes you want to do certain things, and it has nothing to do with being good or bad. It's just certain things you want to do, and sometimes your intuition says no, or yeah, you should do that. Like you get that extra kick. That's him. That's his spirit adjuster, his thought adjuster, his monitor, a part of him that helps us choose right. Sometimes we go against what it's trying to say to us. Spiritual choice. I could have arrived amidst lightning and storms to make my power known. Man would easily have known that the Lord had arrived, right? Yeah. However, this world have caused men to become more confused and fearful. Do you not believe that instead of feeling love towards the divine Father, you would have feared his judgment or his justice? So if he would have came as a man, everybody would have been terrified. Some people would have just jumped off the bridge, or people all over here, our bridge over here with the Coronado, the San Francisco up north, or the other bridges. They People would have been losing their mind. So he said he didn't come to add on to the confusion and fear. He came to show and inspire love in the hearts of all men, woman and man. So, that's why he did not come in that cloud that looked like an alien ship. Though I'm pretty sure those beings that drive those identified objects, because they're not unidentified, they are identifiable, and they come from other worlds, because there's billions of worlds. This is not the only world. This is the only one we see. But he spoke of he has billions of worlds, and I already believe that. I didn't believe he just made Earth. You don't want to just make Earth and then have all these retards and stuff and be focused on this place. He probably don't have to focus on the other world, only this one, because we the most lowest of them all. So the rest of them is all advanced, driving in UFOs and stuff. They speak and they aircrafts go. They don't even have to touch anything, but we still trying to figure it out because we can't work together in love. Too much hate, jealousy, and envy. Well, he's speaking now. I don't know. Okay, he's speaking now. Here I am. This is chapter 3 of the Third Testament. So if I said chapter 1, or until I said chapter 2, then it was all chapter 1, and then up until now, it was chapter 2. Now we're going to chapter 3. Here I am in the cloud, surrounded by angels. This is why they don't want us to see what's going on. So instead of letting the natural clouds flow, they're putting all these chemicals in the sky. hmm So we can't get his messages either, because the rays, like you said, which are the spiritual beings that have come to manifest themselves among you as messengers of my divinity and as your good counselor. The rays of light are my word that speaks to you of new revelations that surpasses wisdom in human understanding. All of your all of you, so he's saying all of you, open your eyes and justify your faith that you are children of the light. All of you may see me, but it is indispensable or critical to have the will and faith to do so. So without wanting it and fighting for it, I'm fighting so hard. I'm like, where are you? But I feel his presence. I do. Yah word speaks. His word does speak. It's alive. It's alive. It's the blob. If mankind would have known how to analyze the prophecies of the first and second eras, they would not be confused today about their fulfillment. This is what happened. The word that has always been in God speaks to you, the same who was in Christ and whom today you know as the Holy Spirit, because the word is an expression, a law, a message, a revelation, and wisdom. Okay? Clean, cleanse your heart. For only one God exists, one Yah, only one word, and only one Holy Spirit. And they're all Him. He just somehow separated His word and His Holy Spirit. But He's still all powerful. I don't know how He did that, but He did it. And they became their own spirit, but they're still Him. I am Christ, the one who has been persecuted, blasphemed, and converted into a common criminal in this world. I come to you after what you did to me in the second era through Jesus, to give you one more time proof that I have forgiven you and that I love you. But in order for you to see me, you must first cleanse your heart. And I watched this video this week within the last 3 days. A young girl, she looked like she could be between 18 and 25. She said she had a dream that it was the end and there was all kind of crazy stuff going on. It fire was coming from everywhere, and there was a tornado. There was a tornado, and it was shooting out smaller tornadoes. So it was a big mass tornado. Then it was shooting out little tornadoes, and as they shot out the other tornadoes, it was spinning and it converted to fire. And the fire began to write, somehow create a stone and then write like it was a Ten Commandment tablet. She said it began to write like it had a finger and everything. It just started writing the laws. And I can't remember. She said laws that I didn't even know nothing about. So that means they hiding a lot of stuff from us. Yes, so that's one of the things. But I'm gonna tell you, if time allows me, I will tell you what's coming. I already told people. I'm gonna tell you again, but this time he gave me elaborate details. He gave me some details. I was crying. I was like, oh my gosh, am I gonna be here? Oh my gosh, like I need to get with somebody who knows the truth. Like we need to warp out of here. We need to summon our power together for real. I'm not playing either because people don't get it. They want to get it, and I'll tell you these demons, you know, these tyrannizing menaces to the whole wide world. I'll put that in one of my writings too. They have created all this because they know the truth. They are a part of this secret, ignorant society. Now, the little tyrants who are the pawns that do their dirty work don't really understand what's happening. But those who got the big money, the big paper, that's going to catch on fire. Let me stop. It's not funny at all. I have to laugh at something, but it's going to catch on fire. It ain't going to have no money. This is why they built bunkers in the ground, you know, because they knew a doomsday was coming. And we were their sign. That's why they watched us and kept us down so that they can keep their eyes on us, so they can look down to see what was going on with the melanated people. They always knew. They don't understand everything, but they knew the truth about the history. They knew the truth about the signs and the skies. This is why they've been covering the skies. This is why they hurried up and rushed everybody in the house to lock your doors and suffocate yourself in your house, because they didn't, first of all, they didn't want you to see what was going on out there. I saw what we know to be a star within the last 3 days. It was either Wednesday or Thursday. I saw it moving, supposed to be a star sitting there just lightening the sky, and it just started moving. I was like, I was trying to get my phone, and it would not come in though. Like, it would not come in at all. I was like, what the? But at the same time I was trying to get it, they was somehow, they had, I don't know, I guess they sent some poison over the ocean because we're so close to the water that it was blowing at the same time the clouds was moving in so fast. Like, it was crazy that they poisons were moving in so fast at the same time when I noticed it. And I said, that's why they've been trying to cover up, because they don't want us to see. They're probably shifting, like moving, and those are signs. Like, it's showing us symbols and signs that's giving us messages. But most of our people, if not all, have lost connections with reading the sky like that, the stars, the constellation. We used to have people that could look at the sky and tell you everything. Not anymore. So that's why they fear. That's one of the reasons they fear. It ain't all the reasons, but it's a big part of the reason. And they know their punishment is coming. And it ain't punishment from the Most High. It's their own, from their own works. Like I told them, a year ago or so, your wickedness is your accuser. Don't blame God for wrath and vengeance. Your punishment is what you do, your deeds, your wickedness is your accuser. So don't blame nobody but yourself. I'm sorry, the way, truth, and life. Now, a lot of people, I even misunderstood a little bit, because I know everything leads to the Creator. His word, who we call Yahshua, or they call Jesus, or Yeshua, or Yahashua. I don't know how to say all them other names. He is the word. He is God. He is the word, but he's separate. He can do his own thing, but he does exactly what the Most High wills. So whatever he wants him to say or do, that's what he does. He doesn't try to go against him like Satan. He doesn't try to take the Godhead like Satan. He is the Godhead. He's just the word of the Godhead. That's it. But he's still one and the same. So he said he is the way, the truth, and the life. And it makes sense now, because at first I'm like, ain't nobody else the way, the truth, and the life to the Most High. Because the Most High, every time he speaks, he say there is no other besides me. He's saying that his word, which is the word, is the way, the truth, and the life. His word. It's alive. The truth, that's how you know if it's the truth or not. Because his truth really lives. It lives. I don't know if you understand that, but I'm not saying it looks like us, but it really lives. Remember that I am the word of the Father, the divine essence, which you receive in this word is the light from the Creator Spirit, which has left a part of my spirit in each one of you. So he left a part of him in each one of us. In chapter 4, see who? I choose to begin my manifestation among the most humble, among those who maintain their understanding and their spirit pure. Later I allowed everyone to come to me. Later I allowed everyone to come to me because at my table it does not exist any distinctions nor preferences. The word of Yah chooses the humble in heart to share his word, to deliver his word to the people. My word poured out upon this people has been simple and humble, within your reach and your senses, full of clarity, and has been profound for your spirit, because I, even though I am the arcane, always manifest myself and express myself with simplicity and clarity. Yah word made and reached the simple. I am a secret to no one. Secret and mystery are children of your ignorance. Let me stop. I'm always laughing at stuff when he's being rude. But it's not being that he's being rude. He's being 100. He's being 100. Oh, boy, we have been some ignorant fools. Been blind like dumb deers. Oh my gosh. And he's gonna forgive us all, but some people are gonna go through some terrible cleansing. Denial. He said, to denial that I communicate through your understanding or your spirit is to deny yourself and place yourself among the lower creatures. Like, damn, the answer is smarter than that. Chapter 5, the kingdom. I knew that from generation to generation, men would mystify my doctrine, adulterating my law, and falsifying the truth. I knew too that men would forget my promise to return, that he would come again, and that they cease to consider themselves as brothers, in order to kill each other with the cruelest, most cowardly, and perverse arms. Guns. Yep. Can't stand up to a knife fight. You got to get them at a distance. Bow and arrows, guns. Yeah, only cowards want to do that. That's what he's saying. Cowards use weapons. But the time and day appointed has come, and I am here. Do not judge the form in which I have come to communicate with you, for it is not the humanity which is to judge me, but I am to judge the humanity. For this is the time of its judgment. I come to establish a kingdom in the heart of humanity, not a material kingdom, as many expect, but a spiritual one whose strength comes from love and justice and not from the powers of the world. Beliefs. I already foretold to you that the struggles would be intense, for each believes his own religion to be perfect and his compliance with it to be perfect. Yet I tell you that if that were true, I would not have to have had any reason to come speak to you in this time. I am inspiring in you a doctrine that is fundamentally spiritual, for I see that paganism rules in your form of worship, and that the bad seed of fanaticism has poisoned you with the ignorance and hatred. Fanaticism has poisoned you with ignorance and hatred. And Lord, before I go, and I know I've taken up, I didn't even expect this to take so long, but I ain't gonna lie, I had 39 little slides. They wasn't even full slides. They just, by me explaining stuff or trying to add on, I can't help it. It just comes, it comes out. So just know the word, my point of this video is to let you know that he already here. Elijah already came, paved the way for him. There are events in history that you can research even today that will signify his return, what he said would happen that day, or the day in history it happened, and so much more. So, um, and that he has warned everybody, he's warning people to get your heart right. And I'm going to tell you about that. If he allows me to make another video, enough, until I get to this particular video, because I'm about to put out the video that talks about um, love. Yah is love. Yah is love. I made this video before I even thought of, before this stuff came to me. I just waited. He wanted me to wait and tell you about his presence first. So I made a video called Yah is Love. I wrote this song last year sometime, and now he wants me to share it because everybody thinks he's this vengeful war, like I thought he was too, because that's what the Holy Bible depicts him as, some war, violent God. And he's not. He's humble. He's humble. That's why I ask so many questions, because I'm like, how can you be like this and you can do this? They don't go together. So he always have a way of bringing it to me when I ask him questions, and that's what he did. He brought it to me in this book, the Third Testament, and another book. Yes. So before I go, chapter 7, I am the word of the love that comes to comfort those who suffer, the troubled, they who weep, the sinner, and he or she who has sought for me. And my word in those hearts is the river where they calm their thirst and cleanse their impurities. It is also the way that leads to the eternal dwelling of rest and peace. How can you imagine that the struggle of life, its sacrifices, its vicissitudes and trials end in death without finding a just reward in eternity? It is therefore that my law and my doctrine, with its revelations and promises, are for your hearts the motivation, the caress, and the balm of this life's journey. Only when you depart from my teachings do you feel hungry and weak. So that's the beginning of this kickoff. It took a long time. I do apologize, but it's all in there. I had to explain. I've tried to make it as little as I could, but I have to, in order to explain it, I have to say it how it comes to me. So I appreciate and I pray that this helps enlighten someone. But this is not it. This was just about the word, letting you know he's already here. He's not coming in a cloud. Like I told people, what are you looking up into the sky for? What are you looking up for? Now, what you should be seeing is, if anything does come, it will be his physical beings, his other children that he probably, who are in their strength, their power that our people had, or our spirits had when they first got here, before they continued to sin. We have a natural power, but the more we do things to our body and our spirit, our mind, it takes us farther and farther away from it. Like you can have the power like Christ and you could just think something and it happens. That happened to me as a teenager where I thought something and it happened. But unfortunately, I was thinking something bad to someone and it happened. But worse than what I thought. So it was way worse than what I wanted to happen to them. So we don't realize how powerful our minds are. We don't realize how powerful the word is, which is truth. All truth is living, it's alive. So if you speak the truth, there's power in it. It manifests itself. Unfortunately, if you speak bad things, it possibly could happen, but it may, instead of happening to somebody you want it to happen to, it could come back to you. That's why you have to be careful when you how you pray things. Like I don't speak bad on people, but I do say things like, and it didn't come to me. I was like, whatever these people doing, give it back to them. Message return to sender. Return to sender. All these things, anything they do to me, if they do wicked, I'll just say return to sender. I ask my Lord, my Creator, my Spirit, my power to return to sender. I ask the power of the universe to return to sender all wickedness, and that's what's coming. It's coming. Yep. If we all have to be a sacrifice for peace to be illuminated on this earth, then let it be. Because I personally, I'm so tired of fake people, liars, demonized people who creep around doing demonic things, sneaking around doing wicked things, hurting and harming people with their wickedness, and liars and thieves and all these people who do things that don't. Now if you like people who have been who like, for example, if you took something and you were surviving and you had no other choice, mercy be to you. But you who wickedly do things just to be a devil, who make no effort to try to do anything right at all, woe to you. It ain't from me. It's from your own doing. I mean, literally, woe to you. Because it's coming. Wait till I tell you what's coming. Wait till I tell you how he explains what's coming. It's coming. It already began. Why do you think these people are talking about a second wave of corona? How do you predict any kind of virus or pandemic outbreak unless you're the one trying to create it, which is not going to be real, like the first one wasn't real? But they go around killing people who they know are probably on the dark side, or I don't know. Some of these people I don't know, so I'm not going to speak. But I'm being honest, because they have been trying since they started this pandemic to kill the righteous, or the chosen, the elect, and they have heavily failed. And I know because they've been trying to do it to me, even using my own family. Okay? They have failed. And they're going to continue to fail. The difference between them and me, I'm not afraid to die. Because they know if they're afraid to die because they don't know what's going to happen to them. They don't know what's going to happen to them. I know that I'm going to be saved either way, even if I wasn't doing righteous things. I'm not perfect. Mm-mm. But I don't trust in what man is doing or what he says. I trust in what my creator told me back then when I asked him, was I going to die? No, no. So that means whether I'm here for this season and I come back, I don't, oh heck no, I can't come back here. Unless he converted like he said he was. Yes, then it will be a better place. So to all my people out there, my love and knowledge, 3T's is here to tell you nothing but the truth, literally, because I'm telling you, my soul is crying because what's coming our way, not many are prepared. Nobody's prepared. So before I go, let me say this. All praise be to the Most High Yah, the eternal Creator, who is worthy of the glory, the honor, and all the praise. What if everything just burned down? Your house, your clothes, the only thing survived was the people and whatever you can carry. Are you ready for that? No one can say, even if you prepare, if it's going to be sufficient. But the point is to make the attempt to have something stashed up. And the sad part is we can prepare, like I have got a couple of things that could be useful. I don't have everything that could be useful if in the event of something like that happening. But if something like that does happen, what if I leave it at home when it all kicks off? I can't go back home. You know, you heard it say, like when it does jump off, don't try to, if you're on top of the house, don't go back into the house. If you somewhere, don't try to go back there. Like we cannot go back. So there's really no way of really being prepared. The only thing that being prepared is to have His word, and I'll tell you about that. His word is going to be our only protection and our only way at that time. His word, which is the truth. Because when His spirit and nature come together, I'll explain it to you later. Just know it's going to move through people, and whoever has evil in them, they're going down. They're going to suffer. So even though we all are going to be saved at some point, you're going to feel that wrath or that what you want to call vengeance of your pain that you caused on earth. It's coming back to you, and you're gonna feel it. And you better hope that you die and it goes away after you die, because it might linger, like you said, it will transcend into your spirit, and you will be tormented in your spirit until He decides to rebirth you again into a human form and make you start all over again. And we don't know what the world may be at that time, but it's supposed to be changed, so we'll see. But I got some powerful stuff to tell you about this judgment. So peace, love, and prosperity to all my peeps. Let me give you some rest tonight. I love you. I really do. And I really pray that love will find its way through this land and really pick up where all this evil has destroyed. Because all only thing going to save us now is love. That's it. Love. Nothing else. No job, no house, no car, no nothing, no money, nothing is going to save us. Only real love. And I'm not talking about somebody saying I love you and then you don't see them for 20 years. That ain't real love. Love don't stop. Love don't stop. Love don't give up. Love don't let go. Even if you don't see truth, it don't let go. Get right, my people. Get your heart right. Get your heart right. Please get your heart right. Because when that second spiritual wave comes, it's destroying people. I love you. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out. Stop. Close that one. I love you. I love you. I love you.